sisters, everybody around the world. As you can hear from the background, I'm listening now to CNN, and it's a breaking news about what is actually going on in France, what has been going on since 4:30 in the early mornings of today. As a matter of fact, I don't think there's anybody who's well in his mind at this time, no matter whatever you're doing, that is not going to be concerned about what is going on around the world. If you can hear what is the background says, it say,
and that they cleared the area of anything that might be dangerous to the public, however.
The situation is not over yet, and the time now is sharp 11 o'clock, from 4:30 in the morning till 11 o'clock, and somebody just came before I started this broadcast to inform us that there is even a tendency, there is another plan on the making, that 8 terrorists are still out there, and they might unleash deadly attack at any time. And the correspondence they have stretched from Belgium, France, Germany, and the Netherlands. And now this is happening as at today. The terror, the fear is all around us. Everywhere, when you talk about from Africa to Asia to Arab and to the Western world plus America, the terror is everywhere. So we are living in a terrorized world. What does that mean? It means that all of us are terrorizing ourselves. No man is out of this very situation. People are firing, others are retaliating. It means we are terrorizing our world. Make no mistake and count yourself out because you believe you come from this area or from that area. What you are calling them is what they are calling you. And if you watch the whole trade of events, people are being terrorized here, people are being terrorized there. It is terrorism all over. That means we all have failed it, my people. My name is Nwachukwu Emmanuel. I know I have no money. I know I have no stake or say in the world. I am not a pastor. I am not a teacher. I don't have any office. I don't even have any say. As regards to what the world has turned about, it is a pretense to say that everybody has say. I know nobody will be listening to this, but I want to use this opportunity to tell the world that we all has gotten it wrong. And when you get something wrong, you have to stop and make amendments. I know that the Western world have a lot of things that make them think that they are fine, but there is something missing. We can see it. It is clear that the situation is getting out of hand, meaning however you think you are well organized, you are well planned, you are well sophisticated, the answer we are seeing at this moment is a failure. That means we have to have everything. I myself personally have been thinking about all this and what is happening around and what the solution might be. If you are honest with yourself, the solution of this matter is not going to be an easy one, and it's not going to be an acceptable one even, because of the way and time things have changed. Evil has turned to good. It's no longer good over evil, but evil over good. We better be honest to ourselves. living in panic in a world where we call ourselves human beings. That is a difference between human being and animal. That is why we are superior. It's not about making rockets, having all kinds of technology, having all kinds of wealth, establish all kinds of trade, education. If you cannot control yourself to live happily with these things you have established and created for yourself, that means you are not complete human. It's a fact, please. Human beings, the highest we can do is control. But today we have seen it from every walk of life, all the things we do, that we have gone out of control, even to our pleasure. Now the kind of things that is a pleasure to mankind is the things that are really shameful. This very problem we have now, what we are missing here, why we are reading it wrongly, is because we refuse to accept what it is. You cannot have headache and treat it with malaria tablets. This problem is not a political problem. It is not a military problem, but this problem is a religious problem. Let's understand the fact and believe on the fact. The ISIS came in and said they are Muslims. The Muslims say the ISIS are not Muslims. But the fact remains that they came in to proclaim a name of a religion, attacking in the name of religion, have hatred on another religion called Christianity, and label them infidels. This has nothing to do with policies. This has nothing to do with political any political issue. It has nothing to do with military issue. It is a clearly religious issue. No matter how you want to talk about it, it is. If you say they are not Muslims, well, fine. We understand they are not Muslims, but they interfere into a Muslim religion, making it religious combined. Is entangled, and they are fighting other Christians, which is also a religion. The way, the manner we are going about it is because we refuse to call it what it is, to look at it from that angle and know how to deal with it from that angle. The acceptance that religious problem should be dealt with religiously. If they attack you with the bad summon, you bring in the good summon. That is the only remedy to religious problem. The more you mix good with evil, the only thing you get is vaporizing everything. You vaporize, everything will go to flame. And that is what is happening. Sorry, if you mix evil with evil, because the way we are going about it is mixing evil with evil, not thinking about if this is religious, it has to do with spirituality. How do we solve this? Who do we call in? How do we operate? Fire to fire means tit for tat. Do me, I do you. It is also as good as the what are we calling it? The jihadist law. No matter how you think about it, they draw you into something the way they want you to react, and you react that way. Why do we not show the pictures and the killings, beheadings on the news anymore? It's because we believed that reacting the way they want you to react recruits and empowers them more. But now they want you to go to war with them, and you accept to go to war with them. You are returning fire to fire. What you get is total destruction. And that is what is turning all about. Ask me how this thing can be done. It can only be done if we understand the problem here. The problem is people calling others infidel. Why are they doing that? What makes them have that belief? Why are they thinking that these people are to be wiped away? You can say the truth is that you can say anything you want, but the truth is that these people believe they are doing what they are doing for God first. We have to be reasonable. Then what are they talking about? Way of life. No matter how stupid you think somebody is, no matter how useless you think somebody is, just one thing is sure, that you are not to be the final judge. And that is the same mistake these very people call themselves the ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Al-Shabaab, and all of them are making. If they find others guilty of sin, they also commit the sin by attacking, which is also the same thing these people, the Westerners, are doing by re-attacking. Meaning, nobody is right here. Now let's go and look about that way of life that so much anger these people who think they are doing what they are doing for God. What is that way of life? Why do they think it's their responsibility? Being a responsibility when it comes to religion depends on how you understand your job to do for God. Sometimes people over-exaggerate it, and exactly what they are doing, taking the laws into their hand. But if we examine that way of life that they are talking about, let's watch what is happening around in the Western world. If we are concerned about our own religion, Christianity, or also believe in godliness, do you think that the way of life here is acceptable to God? The answer, my brother, is definitely no. If you feel, if there's a pass mark and a fail mark, the answer is that God, we failed, the ISIS failed. It doesn't matter if you got 40 out of and they got 20. If you don't reach a 50% mark, if that is the pass mark, you get 40, you are as bad as somebody who got 5 because you failed. We have all failed. There should be a rethink. Now, the problem is the way of life. That way of life has to be re-examined by the grace of God. And believe me, we also will understand that if you watch what is coming, the freedom of freedoms that we have in this world and what is happening, you know that the world is completely in act. What interests us, what gives us pleasure, is only what is rotten. The government has lost control of the people. The parents has lost control of their children. It is it is even made that the parents have no right over their children. A man have no right over the wife. There is no more sense of discipline. The only way now to start quieting this solution, this very problem, the only solution is to start looking at it from the religious angle and try to examine why did these people come out from the Muslim religion. From a situation, this is because they have a space where they can operate from, a country that believes and adapts to religious first, spirituality first, before ourselves, our laws, the law of God. Now the West believe in politics. It is a fact. That is the bone of contention of whatever is happening around the world today. If you like, you call it political. If you like, you call it military. You are going to solve it that way. Believe me, the evidence have been proven that for years now, when we try to stop it by force, you only make it spread. It is on our doorsteps. The earlier we start to know that calling it any other problem than what it is and start to facing it from that angle, the deeper we go into this deep shit. And we are on it all together. Don't believe that because you're a big man you can run away. The tide of events are going to take their course with time. Nobody knows. The mistake also of admitting the people, the brothers to the people who call you infidels, is also a great mistake. It's all done because of the want for money. Believe you me. In this very case, if we have studied it from the onset, calling it what it is, you should know that the Muslim world, the Muslim community, the Muslim religion who are being attacked here, who are being damaged here, who their names are being dragged to mud, should be the people in position to face this very danger encroaching to their religion. Not by fighting. Because I, for one, in any way don't believe in anything to do with fire to fire. If you go that way, you miss it. The Muslims should be in forefront of this. It is an ideology. It is people who have less possibilities. It's people who are hiding that are raising this kind of morale, this kind of momentum. Then how much more if I counter ideology, the good ideology, what the Muslim represent, the togetherness. If you, the Muslims, the Christians, believe that you all believe in one God, the moderate ones, according to what they call it, the moderate Muslims and the Christians, why have these Christians lost it on their own side? Because they refuse to put religion in front of what is happening, in front of their policies. They no longer have the fear of God. Everything is legalized. Everything is freedomalized. Freedom of to being stupid. Watch the net. You cannot regulate the things you put. And this is the anger of the people who become the extremists, who believe that the world have gone deep into bullshit and these people are no longer worthy to live. They are doing a work of cleansing for God. This is what the problem is. This is what the belief is. This is, if you refuse to understand this, this is the fact. This is how they feel. And if you are watching it from a religious point of view, you will know that the thing, they believe the word. Don't say let them be on their own side and do what they want. They believe the word is for God. And you have to do a word for God. It's not, it's trying to make you understand how they feel. They have to spread this message. That is their goal. That is their preaching. Because they believe they have to do a work for God. Where they fail it is not understanding that under no circumstances can they be the judge for God. as long as it comes to taking lives. No one of us born of a woman have the right to take the life of another. No matter if you are even a president living in this Western world, you have no right also to send bombs going flying on other people's territory. That is also people being terrorized in their own area. Let's call a spade a spade. I don't know what might happen to me tomorrow. I don't give a damn anymore, because we see that there is no need giving a damn about ourselves. If I don't say it, then it will live in me. If I live with fear of who is coming after me, then the world will not understand it. But we need to stand up now. Our leaders are making a mistake. Either they are making a mistake or they are deliberately doing what they are doing. I don't know what the answer is, but I know this is the two things happening. Let's call on the imams, those spiritual leaders of the Muslim. Let them bring and produce us and show us by posting and advertising, promoting what their religion is, the love in the Muslim religion. Let the Christians come in support. Let's wash away all this attitude and all these mentalities and pictures we are getting into our homes by way of Hollywood and Nollywood and Bollywood, in way of just for money's sake. Let's teach and bring into our homes the videos, the movies that will bring love and harmony into our homes among our children. The beheading we see today by ISIS, the burning of people alive that is happening right now in our eyes, has started in the films, has been the ideology created and had by men in the 70s, but in a fantasy world. It is now playing out in reality because we implanted it into our homes. We accepted it to be the new normal, and from there it becomes the normal. Today, the interest of our children on films are bloody films, horrifying films. From 18 years, we give a right to a child to go online and watch things that he cannot take care of, he cannot control. I am angry. I'm angry. It's still happening in France up to now as I speak. Let's do the right thing. Let's stop all this fighting. Let's stop all this fighting. Like I said, if a pass mark is 50% and you get 45%, you are as good as somebody who got 1% because you failed. So if we believe what the ISIS and all these people, they got it wrong, the reality is that we are also getting it wrong. There are things that need to be mixed here. The Western world need to start looking onto God. The Western world have to start putting religion into their policy. They are a people of a certain belief. That belief is the first thing. God first before anything. No matter whatever you do in your government, in your homes, that is what religion is supposed to be. How dare we forget about our ways? And these people took their ways onto them. That's why you have countries like Iran today having a supreme leader, and they believe in that. Although we might find fault, nobody is perfect, we might find fault about their going to extreme to believe that other people are whatever or other. It depends on how they are seeing it, how angry they are for God according to what they believe in them. This is exactly the picture of what is happening. If we don't get it right, if we use politics People, because of how educated you are, you come and talk some trash here and telling us in the world that this is a political, you will be solved politically. Who is politicking with who here? These people don't need politics. That is what they call the Western education. They don't need this kind of things. You don't discuss with them based on politics. If you say you convince a certain amount of people from their own side to call, okay, the people you are negotiating with. After negotiating, you go to the ground. What kind of negotiations have we done in Iraq up to today? We see that these things don't come to an end by this political means at all. It keep rolling. Afghanistan is still on its path. They are just as if it's being quieted because we are seeing the new rupture. My brothers, my sisters, my presidents, my fellow world members and the brothers and sisters, I don't know what to call ourselves anymore. Please, please, we can think about this solution by a peaceful means. Love overcomes everything. When we say it, why don't we believe it? If we say we believe it, why don't we practice it? This is the time you challenge the power of God. If you say you believe in God, you don't go to church and when it comes to what you want to do, you say, no, you have to. No, don't worry about saying, listen, it's the military, it's our ideology, it's our thinking, it's our bending ourselves clockwise, anti-clockwise, make us understand that defense is attack. Defense means defense. Attack means attack. Is the military conversion makes it now to become a general acceptable language where you have to defend yourself, protect yourself. When you say protect yourself, you protect yourself. They think the protection might be in form of a spiritual way that thing don't even come to you. You say prevention is better than cure. But protect yourself in that one that you have to shield back to kill. My brother, I don't believe in that. You do the right thing by protecting yourself in spirit. If you do the right thing, my brother, it is written in the same Bible that we read that you are not going to hit a stone with your foot if you believe in the Almighty. Then why should these things come to you? If we are doing the right thing, why should we be believing in this? We know exactly the history of this world. There's no need our turning ourselves as if we don't know what is happening. We know the names, the good names, the bad names. Each and every one of the countries in the world has. We know the problem. We know the problem. And now I am telling you, my brothers and sisters, wherever you are watching or we watch this very broadcast I'm making now, this problem we are living with right now is a religious problem. It's an entanglement of a belief into a belief. They did not say they are marketers fighting for any marketing right. They did not say they are politicians. They did not say they are an army. That if they are an army, their army has to do with army in religion. They added there. They are fighting for religion, for religious reasons. So you cannot just put that aside and say it's not religious. It have mixed up. They did not even form their own platform in this case. So, my question is, why are the Muslims not waking up to put the picture clean of their religion? Why are they not countering by the same means, by the same ideological means? Their religion is being dragged to mud. It is your duty. The mistake is the Europeans rushing to it. You are rushing in to a place, because I think this is now coming to that political and the monetary aspect of it, why the Europeans are rushing it. These are people who have a different, we are all human beings, we know that. That is why we also come from different families. You don't treat me now like, we know that really by what God wants us to be, we are supposed to treat one another like the same. But let's just talk about the facts, facts here. No matter how you love different human beings, you don't love the next neighbor like how you love your immediate family. That is a reality. Okay, what are we supposed to be doing here? We know that the people who have more religious relationship, regional relationship, are the other Arab countries. They are also the people who have this religious relationship that is being damaged. They are the people who are supposed to be in forefront, who are supposed to be angrier, to do anything it takes. From my reasoning, not by war, not by fighting, not by killing anybody, but countering in the same ideological means by which it couldn't have gotten to this way, to this place. There is supposed to be more coordination if the Muslims and the Christians, the moderate ones and the Christians, have one belief in God, going to heaven and hell, according to what is in their scriptures. There are other people who have a wider understanding of what exactly is there. I am just a little bit irritated about science coming up to tell us that there is no God. That is the thing, again, another thing that has helped in brainwashing the people to think they have no reason to worry. That is why the freedom of freedoms has been given. We know that there were times where government have to ban music, bound films, but because of money, because of unnecessary rights, giving the wrong now to be the right, because you want to you believe that everybody have right, even a child that cannot think. You believe that 18 years is enough for some, when you are 40 years, 50 years, cannot even comprehend with what they are seeing. So many of the 50 years are pedophiles who see the shit online and cannot hold themselves. And this is what we leave open for 18 years to say, from then you are able to take care, you can live on your own, you can do, because we have accepted the short term of life as our as human lifespan. We have accepted sin. We blame God for giving mankind a short lifetime, when we forget to know that the people in the past lived up to 900 and something years. It happened here on earth. If you don't believe this, that means you don't believe the Bible, you don't believe God. Think about Adam. Think about Abraham. Think about Methuselah. Think about Noah. A whole lot of them. It happened here on earth. So if you don't believe it, that means you don't believe your Bible. Just drop that shit and forget about it. Call it shit. But if you believe it, make it your holy book. Let it be a holy book that you really believe in, and believe me that people lived in this very earth up to this time. Then why are we blaming God for our short time when we have accepted it? When I want to tell you that our time of being matured is supposed to be from 100 years. And we can make that happen if we can face out sin instead of promote sin. Homosexuality, that was termed as sin, is today what is being exported all over the world, and it's also what is stated clearly in the Bible. I don't know about the story of Sodom and Gomorrah anymore. And these things are being promoted in churches. Why won't another religion who don't believe in this? This is crazy. These things are being promoted by the government. These people, this is the new normal. This thing is something that came out of the way. Why you listen? There are people who are born with disability. Disability need to be treated and not to be promoted or encouraged. There are people who are born with bad eyesight. There are people who are born not speaking. There are people who are born with certain sicknesses, and when they are born, you try to treat it. You don't encourage that sickness so that the next child who is coming up will be born with that, and they know that. Some even would like to have that sickness and say they are born with it. Maybe because you are giving a certain preference for people who are having such sickness. That is exactly what it is with homosexuality. We are giving preference to sickness instead of understanding that what brought homosexuality is the way stupidity. People have made love with animals, mixing blood of animals with humans. People have mixed blood of different human beings 200 times in their lifetime. Why wouldn't this result to a kind of disability in sexual birth, in the person's sexuality? It doesn't mean it is right. We need to educate the person to know that this is a sickness. We need to start curing these people and try to move them from being that, and not encouraging that even today people who are not find themselves believing that they are what they are not. Because it's fun. For us now, it's fun. My people, my brothers, my presidents, my rich men and women, there is a lot to talk about. That's a lot that is good. I know, I don't know. I know, like I've told you, I'm nobody. But I believe that there will be people who will be out there who will understand with me. And I pray that a president among you people that have powers will understand with me. There is a lot of ways. I personally, I am not an intelligent. I am not a CIA. I am not nothing. But I personally have a very good, wide open idea of how we can make this place a better place and a peaceful place. It's easier than what we are doing. The money we are spending in trying to defend ourselves by attacking will do us very big good if we try to defend ourselves by defending ourselves, by protecting ourselves, by doing the right thing first, by knowing that God has also job to do in protecting us. God also have a hand in clearing evil from coming your way. Let us not believe that all this job on earth here, we have to do all the job of protecting ourselves. If your life is clean, God is going to protect you also His own way. You have also a job to do by planning ahead with the Spirit. If we have better ways of enjoying ourselves, there are more better ways we can divert all these wonderful talents that God has given to us, coming from the Hollywood to the kind of things and education that we will have on our screens. The what we expect the world to look like, the imagination, the fantasy we build into the brains of our children, coming from the good work, the Hollywood, the Nollywood, the whatever wood they are acting these films, the togetherness for the livelihood of the Muslims and Christians together, what it's supposed to look like, what we envisage, what you want it to be. It's what you're supposed to program in the head. We have seen it that the reaction of what is happening today is according to what most of our children are being programmed with. Coming from this television, we know it. Why don't we stop it? We believe that the only thing that can make us have that money which is ruling the world is only when we do it the wrong way. There are wonderful, with the ideology, the intelligence, the experience of all these wonderful men and women acting these films. If they revise this idea to planning something that is binding, that is family can stay together and watch, bring the families together. Look at us now with our technology, which has given us the benefit to all the things we think is good. Some of these things we have overlooked their dangers. We want to make the world a safer place. We want to safeguard people. That's what we hear every day. But come on, control the means of communication we have. Limit them to reasonable capacities. A handy phone should be supposed to be made for only calling phones. You are supposed to have your tablet and all other forms of communication gadgets at home. Your laptop, your computer, your tablet, or whatever smart anything can be at home. Why today we have seen deaths by selfie taking, on very preventable nonsense kind of death. We say it's one here, one there, but if you keep on counting people who have died because of selfie taking, because of earphones on the phone, because of tapping phone everywhere, becoming saucy and stupid, our children, and we think this is the new normal and this is the computer age. If we call it something, it looks and it sounds very good to our ear, we accept it without thinking whether this has come to kill us. That is why we are humans. This is why we are humans. The ability to control. God said he gave you dominion over all things. He knows that there are things that are powerful. Those are things that are coming to jam you with the highest heat. How do you control these things? Today, all of us stand and we say that the world has turned around, the world is bad, the world is bad. Everybody say it. You say it. How do you correct it? How do you correct it? My brother, this lies in the hands of our leaders. They are the people who to control most of these things, to ban most of these things, to know that they are supposed to be disciplined to the civilians. The freedom of freedoms that they have given out there is not correct. You have to sometimes have somebody discipline his own self. How much more if we can no longer control our children? This matter is easy to solve. This matter is costless it will cost lesser to solve. It will bring the world, I don't know anyway, because if you watch the scripture, according to the scripture, it will be getting worse and worse. And we have accepted to go worse and worse. Maybe now we start to look at for our own brothers who are peaceful, because what is happening, I don't believe in it. This form of defense, I don't believe is true. There are a lot of things, if they are not making a mistake, they are deliberately doing what they are doing. That is the two things. I don't know what the answer is. It's left for you out there to make the sense of it all. But one thing you know is that our lives are no longer safe. The human race has disappointed God. Not only the ISIS, not only the Al-Shabaab, not only the Boko Haram. The governments and the people, you, me, all of us, the humanity have disappointed God. Everything here is failure. So don't believe that your own failure is better than his own failure. Failure is failure. It's only pretending and pretending and pretending. All that counts for us here in life now is money. I think before, I believe that human being believes that the sky is their limit. Believe you me, my brothers, everything should have a limit. anything that is limitless will make no sense anymore. And the human race will tell you the sky is our limit. And my brothers and sisters, I want to remind you that we have gotten to the sky. We have gotten to our limit. There's no need going any further. The further we go now, we spoil all we have built. We have got, in every aspect you look at the human race today, you know that in the 60s we have not gotten to the sky where we thought is going, where we wish will be our limit. But today, I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, with all what we have, with all the knowledge, with all the goodies, if we can make good use of the goodies we have, if you take it in all aspects, we can go to the sky today. If you want to be practical about thinking about it, if you want to think about it in how far we have gone in the wisdom, for me, education, artificial wisdom anyway, because if we have the real wisdom, it's supposed to be spiritual wisdom. But what we have done, we have gotten to the sky with our artificial wisdom, our education. And it's time now we turn around and apply our spiritual wisdom. Believe in the power of love. Believe in the power of peace. Believe in the powers of the Word of God. And watch how He is going to do this wonder. I know no matter what, if we take this advice or not, I know another thing to happen is going to happen as it's written. And that's even the most likely. Because my advice, I know, will not be taken. So the most likely is that we are going to hit that point. We are going to hit that point where this thing continues to rise and rise. But ourselves, who know ourselves, who understand that no matter what is happening, the world has gone astray, we will gather ourselves and we will be saved. Believe me. We will gather ourselves and we will know ourselves by their words. You shall know them. Not to know the bad people. We are going to know the good people. By their fruits, you shall know them. It goes vice versa, opposite side. By their fruits, you shall know the bad people. By the fruits, you shall also know the good people. My brothers, if you are out there, you are one of us who believe in absolute peace, absolute fear of and respect of God. Understanding what creation is. You know, they have taught us a lot of things. I can talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk till if I will have, time will come anyway, where the grace will come and tell me, because there's a lot of things that has gone wrong. A lot of things. But I know nobody's going to listen. But I know some people will listen. So, out there, it's been my own advice. We can make this work easier. If you are a president, if you wish to have my advice, please feel free. This is not about how educated somebody is anymore. It's not about how religious anybody is anymore. We are all claiming these things. Today we believe that God sent people message according to how educated they are, because they are going to be educated before they become bishop, pastors, that, pope. God no longer talks to somebody who doesn't have a degree. That's what we understand now is working. But so that has been it. That's my idea and that's my belief that we can make this thing work. Let us have one of these big people in the world who will support the move for good, so that we can hold ourselves together. If they don't want to understand it, the way they are going about it, they are messing it up. They are continuing messing it up. They say they are not doing enough. Are we doing enough? That is the wrong question. If you are not doing enough on a very wrong idea and wish to do enough on that very wrong idea, that means you will be doing enough on a very wrong idea. So the question there is, are we doing the right thing? Is that the right way to go about this? And the answer you get is no. When you get to that junction, what you do, the only solution now is to turn around. There's no two ways about it. If you miss it by way of trying to preserve your dignity, by way of trying to hold your prestige, of course that is what we know humans are today. Because of pride, ego, we try to hold our stance even if we know we are wrong. Because we are superior, we don't want to give in. That is what we live through. It's a pity, but what can I say? This is what is going on. I wish I can go on and on and on and on and on, that I can just be your radio man on these very issues and keep talking and keep making the points. Is going to be up to the time when they will understand the possibility, because it's easy. This thing is easy as ABC to get the situation quiet. So if plus all the presidents, all the education and doctors and bishops and the pastors and the engineers and scientists and all these advisors and all whatnot, the CIAs, you have, you don't get this. That is why I say man has lost their spiritual ability, which is a common sense, the wisdom from God, and taking in artificial wisdom and stuff into we stuff it too much. We also know that too much of everything is bad, but education, we stuff it too much. We don't regard anything if it doesn't come from how well you know, by means of how good did you learn about it in school. That is all that matters. Because it has to do with marketing and money, which is the root of our life today. Why we are living if you go around and ask somebody what are we living for, is to live the life and enjoy the life. That is what they will tell you. Then you start to think about yourself, calling yourself a Christian, going to church every Sunday, every Saturday, calling yourself a Muslim, going to mosque, praying 5 times a day. Is that exactly what this world is all about? Enjoy yourself and go. What are you enjoying at a period of when we have accepted 100 years? It's very short time. We have millions of years before you came. And after you, there are going to be millions of years and billions going forward. So what are you enjoying in okay, look at the enjoyment today. All of us, me, you, the police officers there in Spain, in France, and now the presidents of all these countries. I think this is the enjoyment. We are feeling happy. Is this the ISIS themselves? Are they feeling? Are you happy? Who is happy? Who is enjoying themselves? If you say that is why we are here, of course, that's what God wants us to be, happy, enjoy ourselves. But we have to do that in the name of God, in His glory, understanding that He is the supreme. Like I said again, when I come to that point, I turn around to understand that science has confused us and they tell us that there is no God. And because science has given us a lot, we don't seem to understand that that is the highest order of what do you call it? Blasphemy. It's science. And that is why it is among the things that is killing us. We can no longer control it because we love it so much. All the whole things that He has given to us. Today we are looking for where to run in the moon, where there is life somewhere, because we want to science. We love it so much. When we have not taken care of where we are. Science that told us there is no God. Science that gave us all these amenities we have, where we can travel with plane, with ship, communicate anyhow now. We love it so much that it has taken control of us instead of us. With the dominion God gave to us has been overlapped. by science, because and the God science is the same thing that said there is no God. And now he brought his own fancies and wonders. And this was, of course, powered by human beings. Is education here at work our greatest love? Education. If you are not educated, we sell it everywhere. It's good to be educated. I don't say no, but limitation is a different thing. Having the limit, there must be limit. Even to there's, like I said, there's a lot of things. Everything we do is wrong. We are doing it wrongly because we have no limit. The life has gone. I sorry when I see people like the newscasters on that CNN. I look at their faces. I'm sorry for them. I don't know why, because sometimes there's a lot of things that is, I don't understand how they are in that situation to be the ones who will be sometimes doing the good job and sometimes doing the very bad job, because this push you to the wall. Some because of what? Money. You have to do it. It's your job. My brothers, a lot of things keep pumping up when I'm speaking, because there's a lot of things, food there. It can just be bubbling. People who don't understand my call, it's shit coming out, but yeah, cool. It's not a problem. But I know that the answer is easy. It's easier, far easier than what they think. Far peaceful than what they think. But I know that the root of all evil is there. There is money to be made in every activity that goes around the world. So why wouldn't they happen? Why wouldn't they go on? Because people need to enjoy. Now you go and think about that enjoy. You see enjoyment being the source of death for people, and the government cannot ban it. You see a small guy of 20 years, 18 years, because he's gifted by God, being allowed to have something that is going to turn his life around to evilish, devilish attitude. Life that is going to go along condemning other lives. You watch the kind of things we call pleasure. The parties. We know what happens in these parties. People go there, they get raped, they get drunk. I want you to put on that YouTube and watch just type in drunk girls. And then I want the presidents to do this. These presidents of all these nations, they type in drunk girls. They are all there online. Then you see the kind of girls, or you put in naked girls in YouTube. Then you see the kind of girls, the kind of attitude, the kind of things people, the way people are living. You just type in anything. Anything you type in YouTube will bring you out something. And then now watch the attitude, the performance of people. Then you wish this is your own child, because I know most of us have children. Is this the life you wish, or you just give this freedom to people because they need it? They want it. What are you doing? You are spoiling them when you are supposed to be their guidance. That's why God gave you that blessing to become the president, the ruler, to lead them to peace, to lead them to holiness. But we say politics is what we need. We know what politics is. When people come, diplomacy, diplomatic this and that, emission, diplomatic diplomat. You ask him a question, he's answering you diplomatically, means he's going to lie to you. He's not going to give you the facts you need. He's going to add issues because he needs to talk diplomatic. And at last, it will be riding over something. Diplomacy means an advanced way of lying, of dodging. Acceptable political advanced means of dodging issues, lying on issues, is called diplomacy. We know this all. But why are we accepting anyone? We ourselves who are the people. Let us call our leaders back and let them do the right thing. Let us call this a religious problem before it gets out of hand. Let us know that ISIS say they are religious. So in as much as they put that name, it becomes what the problem is. If they say they are political party, it's a political problem. If they say they are a marketing organization, it will be called a marketing issue. But they say they are religious. Even if they form their own group and start from the scratch, how much more when they embedded into an already existing religion, damaging the reputation of that very religion. My call again goes out to those Muslims, those people who are their religion are being dragged to mud. Tell the Western world to stop and let you take care of this. They are your own people. They understand. You know where they went, why they are so angry. You know it better than I do. But I understand the picture. But you know what they are seeing that makes them so angry, according to the book they have as the Quran, and how far they see what they see. So it's you who can make this thing work. In any situation where you say these people are nonsense and these people are nonsense, it's something the two of you becomes nonsense. Because if you call them nonsense, they call you nonsense. Then all of us are nonsense. That is the outcome of this thing, and we see the nonsense in us playing out. Don't say you don't talk with people. You have to talk. You have to, if you don't want to talk, then back out and let the people who can talk with the people talk with the people. We need to understand what the problem is. We all are in this to make the world a better place. If they say they want to make the world a better place, and you say you are making the world a better place, that means there is something going on here that is causing the imbalance. Don't think you are better than the other man, because all what we see here is terror all over the world. And who is causing it? We and them. You are shooting, they are shooting, they are calling you terror, you are calling them terror. It doesn't matter if you are larger in number in population that believe this ideology or not. That's how it grows. That's how it grows. Tomorrow they can grow. We are seeing it growing. In the next 50 years, if you continue to do what you are doing, they will emerge to be the correct ones, because they are going to grow and overlap. The best way to do it is to understand what is going on. And you can only understand what is going on if you go into the heart of who is going on. There's no technology that will make you know what I'm thinking at a particular time. If I don't tell you, or if you don't force it out from me, there must be a way it comes. But it has to come by dialogue. We have to leave behind a little bit of egoism, too big, too righteous, too clean, too holy, too superior, too loyal and royal. All this, these people are this. There is nothing. There is nothing. I want to make all of us understand this. There is nothing that we say these people are doing that have not been done in the Western world by the Western people. Both beheading of their brothers. They have beheaded one another here. I'm not encouraging or accepting. That means I am condemning from what we have done, what I have done, and what is going on. I just want a change of mind for us to know that 45% is equivalent and the same as 1% in a situation where 50% is the pass mark. The two becomes a failure in the eye of God. deep in your heart, look around you. Forget about the terrorists right now. Look around the Western world, if this is only what the world has. Where you're living here in Europe, America, Asia, where there is a little bit not with what is happening right now. I just want you to have another picture. If this is only the world, do you feel, when you look at the events, do you feel that God is happy? No. So it's a failure. These people, for making themselves, because what they believe is that they are next to God, who understand better, because they are doing what they are doing. Let's not forget, in name of religion, in name of their own type of righteousness, a situation where somebody believes that if you carry a bomb around you to die, jihad is a easy means to heaven. You will see, and somebody goes to do it, you will know what is working on this, but the kind of belief, what he believes he is doing. He believes he's working for the most superior, the most peaceful, the most loyal, the only man you can do that, the only spirit you can do that for. To protect him, to protect his word, to clear his word from evil, impunity. That's what they made them call the West, that these people are, what do you call them? I've forgotten that their name again. They call that they need to be crushed. They are infidels. That's what they call them. I don't know. Yeah, that's it. Infidels. That's why. If you don't get this picture of this concept, it's not a concept of wickedness as you are seeing it from a human being, but it's a concept of love for God is superior to human being. This is what their concept of what they are doing is. From their point of view, they have every reason, every right. Just like from our point of view, we have every reason, every right to make the world a better place by bombing them, trying to clear them out, because from our point of view they are evil. But my brothers, I'm telling you, these 2 points of views are wrong. The approach towards attacking, even if you are seeing that person as evil, the approach towards dealing with the problem is wrong. It's wrong when you do the same evil. We have seen, nobody will say that it is not evil when you are seeing that once you counter attack, you kill innocent ones. They kind of look at now. Let's not think that there are people who are more superior to one another. If you think that is where you miss it all. Because if you think your own citizen is more superior to his own citizen or their own citizen, that is where the problem comes. Everybody is equal. Now, if you look at what they killed after the Charlie Ado, now they came, they killed, is it 129 or 132 people in France? This is what they killed. We are. The cry is everywhere. You see how it hurts us. You see how we feel. You see the anger. The boys in the government, they want to go and crush these people who have done this to their citizens. My brother, that is the same anger you cause when you bomb and kill them. When you bomb also and killed also even the ones you call innocent citizens. For them, they are right. For them, you are wrong. Yeah. That's it. That is ideology. Now, what you can do to protect our own people, first of all, starts from what we teach our children right from home. We have seen that it is the fantasy we build that people had in the 70s. In the films, go there, you see beheadings in the 70s before it start taking place now, today in life. You see people burning people on fire. Go and find it in the Hollywood acting films of those days. The evil started from films. We transmitted all this evil in our families. The person who is a jihadi John who went to behead people in ISIS is I don't know, grow up in Britain, in a world where all these things are the practice in our fantasy world, in our televisions. It's allowed. Look at the kind of films. Toy gun. Toys, gun is a toy for children. A parent is happy when the child can shoot a gun. Shoot it. Oh man, you did it. These are the kind of things that interest us. A boy of 10, 15 like to see blood action film before he can have interest on that film. This is because this is the programming from years and years and years of programming from mother to father, from children and children, from generation to generation. You program the system of the people. And they fight in court to make sure they legalize all the chains that have been binding their more intimate to evil deed based on their kind of activity. Look at music today. It comes to tell says. What is all that all about? When we believe that you are the Christian, or do you believe that there's nothing about God, or do you believe that God is just go to church? Look at the way they are doing it. I see the anger, but it doesn't mean that you have to pick up arm and kill somebody else. You cannot be the judge because God is the supreme. He has a plan for it. He only needs you to try to change that person by talking to them. That's why it is always important to talk. When you bound that gate, you are not going to talk. You yourself, you are among the problems. And once you become the problem, you are a failure. All this thing is just because of pride, how much money we have. Who am I? I'm the president of this. I am Mr. This. I'm the Duke of this. I'm the Queen of this. I'm the Prince of this. This is all what is happening. Why we can no longer say sorry. Why we cannot no longer revise when it is clear and plain that we are making mistake.